I made this video about a month ago where I outlined the 10 best ways to choose the right song for your K-pop audition when it comes to the singing category. However, a lot of you guys also asked for the dancing version of that, so today I came in clutch and I'm going to be doing exactly that. These are the 10 best ways to choose the right song for the dancing category, and this video is also perfectly paired with the new PDF product that I released for the month of April. It's super exciting. It essentially has 100 different song recommendations for the dancing category, loosely divided into two categories. So one of them being hip hop, so more of that, I guess, hip hop style. I don't know how else I would describe it. So if you have more of a powerful style of dancing, I would recommend that category. And then another category that I included in there is elegant. So that is for you guys who have more of that soft dancing line, and it's very loosely divided. Not every single song in there is going to actually fit into the hip hop style. However, it's closer to hip hop than elegant. So if you're interested in this PDF, I'll link it down below, but you can also visit my website, loveyirene.com, for more products as well. And there also I have the singing version if you're still interested in that. Alrighty, so let's get with the 10 questions that will help guide you towards the right song choice. The very first question is, what section of the song should I dance to? Now, you can kind of look at this in various different ways because it always depends on the song that you'll actually choose. Now, here are the 3 most common places that people use for their audition. So the very first way is from the pre-chorus to the chorus, and then the chorus to the dance break. And lastly, the dance break to the chorus. Now, when I mean chorus, it doesn't really specifically talk about any of the 3 choruses if it does follow the, I guess, general song structure. So for example, the dance break to the chorus would typically mean the dance break to the 3rd chorus. Now, this is also quite loosely stated because I don't know for sure if your song choice is going to fit in the timeline that it needs to be. So if it's near, I don't know, about 40 seconds to a little over a minute, that is ideal for an audition, unless specified. But if it does fit in that, go for it. And you can have it a little bit before the pre-chorus just to make it a little bit longer, like let's say if your video is 30 seconds. So again, there really is no one correct answer, as it'll always depend on the song choice, and even with a specific song, people have different ideas about what might be most eye-catching. And that keyword is extremely important here because out of those 3 places, you're going to want to choose what's most eye-catching and will stand out. And it can be different for everyone because the way that someone might dance the chorus might be different to someone that's dancing the dance break. So whatever makes sense for you and the song choice is the best answer, essentially. Now, this next question I get very, very often. So the question is, can I choose a song choice that isn't necessarily related to K-pop? And the answer to this is loosely yes, but at the same time no. Let me explain. So if the category that you're choosing in is, let's say, hip-hop, it doesn't really have much to do with K-pop. However, that choreography might be something that you may see in K-pop, then go for it. If you think it might be suitable for K-pop, go for it. Now, the K-pop dancing genre is not one specific thing, and it's extremely broad, but hip-hop would be the closest category to that. But let's say you want to do something kind of out there, like ballroom dancing, or ballet, or some kind of traditional dancing that isn't necessarily related to K-pop, then I would slightly go away from it because, yes, it's showing that you are unique and you stand out. However, that shouldn't be chosen for your main dance category video. If you choose an other category where you essentially just show yourself as an individual, rather than sticking to something or category that's more specific to dance, I say go for it if it's that other category. But if it isn't that and you're specifically just auditioning for the dance category, go with something that has to do with K-pop. Now, let's say this audition doesn't offer any other categories and you want to specifically show your ballet dance. Then that is something that you can show to the company in later rounds, like let's say the 2nd or 3rd round, where you're essentially meeting with them one-on-one and you say, hey, I can also do this, and it can kind of earn you brownie points, essentially. And the 3rd question that we'll be taking a look at is, does it matter which language the song choice is in? And this is very different to singing because for singing, it does matter. For dancing, it doesn't really matter as long as the genre, as we talked about in the previous question, does match up with the category that you're doing, which will be dance. However, if I were to put a recommendation in there, I would go with English or Korean song choices, just so that you're kind of within that K-pop dance genre, because let's say songs in Spanish, they tend to be of a different dance genre to other songs that you may see. But really, it depends on the situation. So if you think it's suitable in terms of genre, then I wouldn't, I guess, care about the language too much. Alrighty, so the next question is what genre slash type of song is better, energetic or contemporary? Now, this one, again, is kind of different to your own style. So let's say you have more of a softer dance line, then maybe contemporary is the best for you. However, let's say you're kind of a newbie to dancing and you're not really sure which one suits you well or what your dance line even may be, then I recommend energetic song choices. And by that, I mean like upbeat song choices. But I still want to say this, that both genres are still great and there isn't one correct answer, which is why my PDF product is also divided into those two categories, contemporary slash elegant song choices and more so hip hop energetic song choices. So again, as I already mentioned, if you're a newbie to dancing, then go with the hip hop style because firstly, it's actually easier to find hip hop style dances on YouTube, let's say, and there are more song choices that you can actually work with. And secondly, it's also easier to connect with the K-pop genre when it comes to hip-hop dancing. And for contemporary, you might cross the line a little bit. So knowing that is quite difficult. So again, go with the hip-hop style. Alrighty, so the very next question is, do you still need to avoid song choices from the company you're auditioning to, even if it's in the dance category? Good question, because it's for singing, I guess. It's really important as to which song choice the company is from. So let's say you're from SM, no to SM song choices, and also no to any of the enemy companies. So let's say JYP or YG. And that is still the same case here in dancing. It doesn't really matter which category this applies to, or no, like it doesn't matter which category it is because it still applies to this. So still kind of be cautious about what song choice you're choosing and the company it's from. Number 6 is a great question, especially for starter dancers. So the question is, how do you know if a certain song choice suits you or not? Now, the easiest way to do is to film yourself. Film yourself with various different dance styles and see which one you feel, oh, that one kind of stands out and this one would suit me best. Now, it can still kind of be hard from that because you might think, oh, all of them are terrible. Or you might think, oh, all of them are great. I don't know how to choose. So this kind of leads to the question that you should be asking yourself while you film these and rewatch the video. So the question is, are you impressing yourself? If the answer is no, you need to explore a bunch of different options. So the very first option is to find another song choice that does impress you when you rewatch your own video and you're dancing. Now this one is quite difficult because you have to go through the entire step of finding a new song choice. However, I do want to mention that finding the right song choice is extremely crucial. Even if you're the best dancer in the world, if you have a really crappy song choice, they might not know it. And then another way you can explore the second option would be to add more various aspects to your dancing that help you stand out. So let's say you're specifically good at popping and locking, then add those elements into your dancing even if it's not in the original choreography. It's really at the end of the day making yourself stand out, and taking your strengths to your advantage is an extremely key point, and it's extremely crucial if you do want to be standing out to the judges. And then the very last way, I'm sure you guys have suspected it, but it is stage presence. Stage presence is so crucial when it comes to dancing, and this isn't just an element you should add if you're not impressing yourself, but you should constantly be adding stage presence and being aware of that essentially. But that is really, really the cherry on top because it's so crucial. Without stage presence, you can never ever stand out, even if you have the most elegant dance ever essentially. At the end of the day, K-pop idols are performers, not professional dancers. So their goal isn't to just perform an amazing dance and kind of finish at that. Their goal is to entertain the audience and have a connection with the audience. So the very next question is it good or even okay to show off special stunts in your choreography? So for example, this may be splits, kicks, gymnastics, and more. And yes, it is okay, but make sure that that isn't like the center of attention. If you're continuously doing splits after another, that gets quickly boring and it almost seems a little too much show-offy. So just ensure that that isn't the main character, but make sure that you're also adding other elements that seem more K-pop-y. Of course, you'll see splits in K-pop choreography sometimes, but that's not the main thing, and they're not continuously doing that for the entire, 40 seconds. So maybe it could be slipped in the middle or maybe even added as an ending pose. I don't know. It's really up to you. Alrighty, Next question is, do we need to make up our choreography to show to the judges, or can we use another choreography that was already made? And the answer to this is 99% of the time, no. And I mean no to the do we need to make our own choreography question, because a lot of the times people are gonna really mess up their choreography. Of course, if you're a professional choreographer, go for it. You are the 1%. However, if you have no experience with dance making, then it's really not the best time to show this. Of course, maybe you can show it off in the later steps where you are a little bit more familiar with the judges and they kind of want to see what your special talents are rather than the solid categories that are already built into place. Then that would be a suitable time to show it. However, for the first round, a made choreography is not necessary and I would not recommend it. And really, these great choreographies are already out on the internet, made by great choreographers, and they're kind of amazing for a reason. Why? Because they're professional and they know what they're doing. It's not really going to give you brownie points for making a choreography, especially if it looks like you made it and it's not professional. So if you think it's really professional and it could literally be sent off to, I don't know, JYP right now and they would accept it, if it's not that, I don't recommend it. And the ninth question is, can I choose to freestyle even if it isn't required? Now, before I begin answering this question, a lot of people don't actually know what freestyling is, so I do explain in this video, and for tips on freestyling, if that helps. And I think when people ask this, they don't really have a clear idea of what freestyling is. So essentially, summed up in a sentence, it's when a person plays a random song that they don't know already, and they essentially have to make a choreography in their heads on the spot. So you're really putting yourself at an advantage if you choose to do that for an online audition where you have the choice of preparing a song and knowing it from your heart and knowing it extremely well. So why would you take that opportunity and just do a freestyling? It doesn't really make sense. The only times you would do a freestyling is when you're in a Zoom meeting with a judge and they ask you to freestyle and they just play a random song. And another option would be when you're doing an offline audition and they may ask you to do the same thing as well. So really only freestyle when the judges specifically ask you to do it, because it's really dumb not to, essentially, when you've got an opportunity to do an online audition. Alrighty, so the 10th question, the last question is, how can I stand out when dancing? It's not like I have my unique vocals to help me out. And this is a really great question because a lot of people do have a hard time standing out when it comes to the dancing category. And because of that, people don't really take it to their advantage. But no, there are tons of ways for you to stand out while dancing. So I'm just going to quickly outline the 2 best ways to do that. So the very first way is a Korean word called 춤선. Now, 춤선 essentially just directly translates to dance line in English. However, that's not really sufficient way of describing the term itself, so I would describe it to as your unique way of emphasizing your moves, I guess adding a certain power to it and adding a touch of elegance, like kind of adding your own unique self to a dance move. You know how people are given the same dance move and they'll kind of execute it in various different ways? That's what 춤선 relates to, and having that 춤선 is kind of important when it comes to standing out. It's almost like your unique vocal tones, but make it dancing. So there are still ways to stand out. However, if you're a beginner, you might not really know what your 춤선 is and what that advantage is. So the next best way to do that is stage presence. And I've already talked about this so much, but it really is important. If there's anything you take away from this video, stage presence should be it, because it is so crucial when it comes to your dancing category. And in this day and age where basically everyone dances, especially when the top app, I would say, is really TikTok when it comes to dancing. Everyone knows how to dance. However, making it yours is so important. And how you can do that really easily is through stage presence. And just lip syncing the song, that is not sufficient enough. That should be like the first step when it comes to stage presence, when there's 100 more steps to go. Express the lyrics, express the vibe of the song and the concept through your expressions, and also the way you almost interact with the camera and how you make a connection to the camera. camera. And this is why I say always make eye contact with the camera, and this isn't just for the singing category. This also relates to the dancing category because that's how you really create stage presence within your performance. Now, I maybe will make a full video on stage presence that is literally going to be the longest video ever, so let me know if you guys do want to see that. Have I even made that? I don't think so. So, that is everything for this video. Please let me know if it did help you, and make sure to check out my PDF product where you can find 100 plus K-pop song, they're not all K-pop, song choices for your K-pop audition. That's what I meant. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.